Hey guys, Rocket here. Today, I'm going to walk you guys through basically the way that I manage stress when I'm writing software, when I'm building cloud applications, when I'm talking with customers. Um, there are a lot of stressors in the life as a cloud architect or as a software developer or as anyone in IT because we're touching such high value systems on a day to day basis. And a lot of times we're building applications that are millions upon millions of dollars. And so delivering that bottom line from a monetary perspective is just a really, really important and super stressful part of our jobs, right? So there are really three things that I live by that help me manage my stress when it comes to my job, right? The first one would be set realistic expectations. So when you're pitching something to a client or your boss is asking you, how long is this going to take? Always under promise and over deliver, right? I've learned that from my boss and it is something that I stick with every day. So if it's going to take you 2 weeks, say it's going to take 3 weeks. And then you deliver it in a week and a half, right? And that makes it better for you because you're going to get the praise that you finished it early. And it's better for them because they now have saved supposed hours, right? So always go in with that. And some other things to help with on this, so I would say, number is in addition to setting realistic expectations, you have to stay organized. So, organization as a software developer, cloud architect, anyone in IT is extremely important. You have to stay organized and you have to prioritize your tasks. So, anyone who's familiar with the agile methodology, look at that up if you don't. And if you're currently using it, that's a great way to stay organized. Even something as simple as a Kanban chart in today's day and age is almost a must for software developers. The second thing I will reiterate on this again, communicate with your stakeholders. You have to communicate with the stakeholders because if you don't, then no one's going to know where anything is. And then you're going to be wasting time by building something out that you think they want without them actually having any input. And they may want something completely different as you're going down the development path. This, again, is why Agile is such an important tool in developing software and anything else in, an IT task related culture. Time management, absolutely a must. Have to do time management as well. It is the pinnacle to how we are paid as contract developers. I do my own contract work on the side as well. It You have to keep track of your time in a very efficient manner because that is how you get paid if you're a contractor, and to be fair, also as a W-2 employee. And then outside of that, that's also how you can figure out how much a project costs. So very, very important on that front from time management. This second point that we're going to get into is continuous learning. As a software developer, cloud architect, systems administrator, network engineer, continuous learning. Technology evolves every day. You will never know as much as you do today as you will tomorrow. So the next part that we get into with continuous learning is skill development. So you may have a specific set of skills. Say you're a front-end developer, right? Start looking at some back-end languages. Start understanding more pieces of that pie, right? When we talk about building an enterprise application, there is the front end, the back end, the databases, the UI design. There's the node part of the front end code. Maybe there's the cloud architecture that it runs on. All of these things build this application that we know today, even down to the VPC in the cloud, right? The virtual private cloud, where you're designing, different network connections. All of that is the job of a cloud architect to design, but not to say that a software developer or a systems administrator can at least have some sort of idea of how everything else is working inside of their own environment, even if they're not responsible for it. So, skill development, learn new skills, seek feedback. You have to seek feedback from your peers and from your managers. If you don't have a regular cadence of reviews, then you need to do it impromptu, right? Just walk up to someone when you need to know how you're doing. Walk up and ask. See what people think about you. It's not rude. It's not weird. you just need to do it because you need to know where you stand. And it's really, really helpful for you to get feedback on things that you may have never gotten feedback on, like designing certain applications, your design skills, if you're not doing code reviews and you don't have someone ever doing code reviews, maybe you're the person doing the code reviews. Are you doing code reviews effectively? Right? Those are all different questions that you can ask and improve upon yourself. You just have to look and reach out and ask. Um, Another really, really important thing that kind of falls into this is managing the work life balance. I work a ridiculous amount of hours. I do, these YouTube videos, and then I have a full-time regular job, and then I do contract work, and I have a wife and kids. Like, there is a lot going on in my life, but I still have to figure out a way to manage and maintain those relationships with my family. So really, really important to have work and personal life balance. And then also, I will say with that, if you have time, start building things on your own. Put it on GitHub, put it anywhere. Not necessarily to show off, but to keep your skills fine tuned, because there could be some days where you're working on a really, really mundane project that's not really challenging, and that project may drag on for 2 or 3 months. And then you're sitting there just kind of, wasting away for 2 or 3 months. So really, really important to always have something that is challenging your mind going on, because as we are software developers and as we are in IT, as long as IT continues to advance, then we have to continue to advance with it to stay relevant. So always remember that. In addition to all of those, the final most important piece to this is learn when to say no. You have to set, and this goes back to the reasonable expectations, but this is its own thing. Learn when to say no. You have to learn how to really gauge what you're capable of. And if it's too much, then you have to have the courage to say no. You just have to. It is so challenging to do it, and I've had to do it before, and I hate doing it. Everyone hates doing it because everyone wants to just say, yes, I can do this. I can absolutely do this. And there are a lot of times when if you think that you can do this, you can. But if you know that it is too much work, then you have to say no. You just absolutely have to. And that comes, again, back to everything else that we talked about. If you have a task list, if you know your current skill set, and you know reasonably how long it's going to take for you to be able to complete this task, and if it's in an impossible timeline, then you just have to say no. And you have to compromise, right? You have to compromise with what you're given if it's not possible. So, in conclusion, these are just some things that I think about on a day-to-day basis when I'm, feeling stressed out, is how I can improve upon these things, right? If I'm stressed out about a project, I go digging about the technology behind that project, right? When we're building some custom thing that's dealing with a very niche technology, then these are the kind of things that you just have to sit down and research so you can reasonably assign time to them, and you can reasonably estimate how long it's going to take. And then you can go through the rest of these steps of being able to figure out where you stand. And all in all, it'll help you de-stress, and it'll help you focus on what's important, which is work and personal time is personal time. All right, guys, until next time, see you later.